Hi, my name is Magdalena Sanchez. This is my data blitz presentation on the article that I chose, which was about exercise training during chemotherapy and how exercise can preserve skeletal muscle fiber area, capillaries, and mitochondrial content in female patients with breast cancer. Here we see the purpose of the research, which was to see how different types of exercises, specifically to different routines, and what they do to the structure of chemotherapy participants' skeletal muscle. The patients were, of course, undergoing chemotherapy, and that was to treat their breast cancer since they were diagnosed with that type of cancer. The two types of exercise training styles that they mostly focused on. The first one was a mix of aerobic training and high-intensity interval training, which from here on out might be considered AT-HIIT. And the other group was resistance training blended with HIIT or RT-HIIT. And lastly, the third group was a group of just usual care. Here are the methods and pretty much what they did in order to perform a study like this. They gathered a controlled yet completely random group of female members to be studied, and this whole thing took 16 weeks, and they tracked them throughout their chemotherapy treatment over these 16 weeks. As you can see, the table on the right kind of walks you through how they went about getting this randomized group. And although it did, take a bit, and they did have some step out and not participate, at the very end, you can see that the UC group ended up being 10 members that completed all the way up to the follow-up assessments. The AT-HIIT group ended up being 6 that completed it. And lastly, the RT-HIIT group, there were 7 participants that went through the whole entire thing. Here we see just some of the results of this huge study. As you can see on the table and in the sentences, the UC participants saw a decrease in CS activity, which CS is citrate synthase, and the exercise groups, especially the AT-HIIT group, they gained CS activity. Right here, we're looking into the skeletal muscle morphology, and the UC participants, consistent with last slide, lost cross-sectional area for both types. Cross-sectional area being, the muscle perpendicular to the fibers, while again, just like last time, the two groups participating in the exercise regimen, they gained capillaries per muscle fibers and type 1 and type 2A muscle fibers. So they saw an increase in that. Conclusion, pretty much all the two groups that took the plans and participated in all these types of exercises and the routines kept or even bettered their skeletal muscle function, which is obviously a good thing, along with the morphology, the structure of it all. While those participating just in the usual care and not doing the HIIT exercises had the opposite results, unfortunately. The women following the exercise plans were consistently getting better results. So I only showed you 2 of those tables and just a little bit of information, but throughout the study and different in all aspects, they were just getting better results, which is, of course, to be expected. This study shows that exercising regularly is great for patients receiving chemo. These were for breast cancer, but just in general, as we know, physical activity is so good for preserving muscle mass and its role in the body, the responsibility that skeletal muscle mass has, which is a huge one. And not only save that, but may even save their life by avoiding the damaging effects of chemotherapy, which we know there are plenty of those. And lastly, on this slide, I do have the citation for the article that I researched, and just want to thank you for your time.